So when you first unbox your camera, you're going to have a few different items. You got your monitor here, this power cable, which I've got plugged into the power in port on the back of the monitor here. We've got our camera here with the short cable, and then we've got our extension cable that reaches from the monitor to the back of your skid steer. When you first get your camera, first thing you're going to want to do is do a little test hookup with it just to make sure everything's working before you go to all the work to route it inside your machine. So what we've got here is we've got a little 12-volt power source. At home you can use a battery or any source of 12-volt power to test it out with. And we're going to hook up with this real quick and just make sure everything's working good for us here. After you've got your power cable plugged in, we've got 3 wires we need to hook up. We've got the red power wire, yellow accessory wire, and a black ground wire. For the monitor to turn on, we need not only the red power wire, but also this yellow accessory wire to both be hooked up to positive power. So we're going to do that here. And the black wire is just going to go to ground. And as soon as you've got power to these, the monitor here is going to turn on. Right now we don't have a camera hooked up, so it's just a blue screen. What we're going to do to hook up our camera first is just grab the short cable from the camera, plug it directly into the back of the monitor here, thread that on, and there we go. Our camera's working. If you don't see the camera come on right off the bat, just hit the camera select button. It'll go through the options here until you get to number 1, because that's what we have it plugged into, is camera input 1. Next thing we want to do is take our extension cable and make sure that this cable is good too. So all we're going to do is come unhook our camera real quick and hook up our extension cable in line along with it. So we've got the right end of it here, line that up, screw it on, and then our camera, and this is kind of the way it's going to be in your final installation, plug into the other end of the cable here. Get that all lined up, and you'll see right off the bat, pops right on, so we've got a good extension cable and a good camera. For the CM-40 camera setup, this actually has up to 4 camera inputs on the back. A lot of people though only are going to end up using 1 camera. If you want to force, if you're just going to be using 1 camera and you want to force just that one to be on, we've got 4 extra trigger wires here that correspond to 1, 2, 3, 4 camera, and they are labeled appropriately here, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the wires as well. So if we want to force it to stay on camera input 1, we're also going to hook this up to the power as well. It's one of the most common things we see is these extension cables get damaged one way or another, either due to installation or animals. So that's the first thing we like to rule out when troubleshooting. What we're going to have you do is take this camera, just like we did in the test, and hook it directly up to the monitor without the extension cable in line, just to rule that out as an issue. One other quick troubleshooting tip is always, if you're ever having power issues and you do have everything connected properly, just check your fuse right here that's included with the wiring harness. If this fuse is blown, comes unplugged, you're not going to get any power either. So make sure that piece is good as well. Past that, give us a call, we'll help you out and get you all sorted.